Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Wadi, and today I'm just going to do a simple sit down and talk with me video while I do my makeup. So I'm actually going to an award ceremony today, so that's the occasion, okay? And I decided to just speak on some things that have been on my mind, okay? I'm going to try to multitask. I'm not the best at it, but I'll try, okay? Just bear with me. And yeah, let's get started. By the way, if you see me looking this way, it's just my mirror. And obviously I need it because I can't do makeup blind, so yeah. I hope it doesn't bother everyone. I don't know what my primer is. I'm gonna be risky and just start my makeup without primer because it's finished. Anyways. Okay, so the topic that I want to talk about today is comparison. And this thought came about to me a few days ago when I said to myself that no matter what I do, I feel like there's always someone doing it better. And that just made me start thinking about like my belief, or a belief that I've had for a long time, which is that no matter how hard I try or how much effort I put in, there's always someone smarter, more productive, more successful, or just more something. And at first I used to like excuse this mentality and tell myself, oh, it's just to make myself better and it's healthy because like I'm just trying to find ways to improve myself or find flaws in myself. That was just the excuse that I was giving myself so that I can just put myself down, right? And not acknowledge what I have had accomplished at that time. And I didn't even realize how much it was affecting me until recently, because it became a constant noise in the background of my thoughts. Whenever I tried to do something or go for something that was considered like competitive, I would just back down last minute and think, oh, there's probably going to be people who are more likely to get it, or I'm undeserving of it, etc., etc. And I feel like it didn't really stem from social media, but it got worse once I got social media. Because as most people on social media do, they just post all the like glitz and glams of their life, all the good things, all the big accomplishments, and that's not a bad thing. But because of my mentality, then I was just very, very vulnerable to that, and that just made my comparison even worse. So yeah, especially looking at like people around my age who were famous or had their life sorted out, and I just felt like I was behind. Whether it was someone my age getting their dream car, or making a lot of money, or just I didn't really see a struggle in those individuals, or they didn't seem like they were struggling, and I wanted to have that. Well, it's not like I was struggling every day, but you know what I mean? Like they seemed struggle-free. They seemed like they didn't have to worry about a lot of things that I was worried about. And yeah, I just wanted to experience the same thing. And everyone just looked perfect 24/7. And you're just sitting there like, am I behind? Like, am I doing something wrong? Did something happen for me to not get that, etc.? And the worst part is it's not even about like being loud. It was just quiet, and it was subtle, and it was me against me, but against everyone else, if that makes sense. And it just chips away your confidence, and your self-esteem starts to go down and eventually just plummets. And it was like this for a long time. But eventually I got out of this mindset. I'm obviously not perfect, but I've been improving drastically. And so I want to tell you guys a little bit more about that. Like I said, I was excusing this mentality for motivation. And I thought, yeah, this will make me want to work harder because I see so many people my age or people younger than me accomplishing this and this. Even at school, I'll just develop this competitive mindset. And eventually I realized like this is not motivating me at all. It's just ruining my self-esteem. And there'd be occasions where I'd do something and I'm like, wait, why do I feel so like unworthy of doing this? Not necessarily unworthy, but like, why do I feel like I shouldn't do this when, even though if you had asked me like a couple years prior to that, I would have easily said yes. And yeah, it was just little things like that I started to notice. I started to notice shifts in the way I'd respond and react to situations or getting opportunities. I'd be like, oh yeah, I did a good job, but I could have done better. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad mentality to want to improve continuously. It's just bad when, like, it just gets to a point. It gets to a point where it's just too much. And it ruins your, not just self-esteem, but also how you portray yourself and present yourself to other people. Because, for example, if people perceive you as, let's say, like confident or in a specific way or in a good way, you showing that you necessarily don't really respect yourself or believe in yourself, how are they going to believe in you, you know? And I also realized that I can't control other people's timeline and what goes on in their life. I can only control what happens in my life, right? And if I'm spending all my time comparing myself and focusing on what other people have, how am I going to focus on how to improve myself and how to better myself if I'm just so absorbed in other people's lives and what they're doing? And so once I started to get all these different realizations, that's when my mindset started to shift and I decided to change. Also, I didn't change like overnight, okay? This happened over a span of a few months, just because when I want to do something, I get it done. No, not that I get it done straight away, but I keep telling myself like I have to do it. And yeah, I'm just pretty strong-willed when it comes to that. But some people could take like years. There was also times when I'd compare like my hard work to someone else's, just based on how much I've seen them work. And so, for example, I'd be like, oh, I haven't seen that person, you know, for example, in school, I'd be like, oh, I haven't seen that person study, like how'd they get a better grade than me? When really, for all I know, they could be studying 10,000 times harder in their room after school every day, you know? And I wasn't villainizing the people, it was just the accomplishments, because I wanted so much for myself. And I just kept comparing. And obviously, like they say, comparison is the thief of joy. And that was definitely what happened, because I just stopped being happy with my own accomplishments. And I didn't feel like like I said, deserved the praise for what I was doing, because I felt like I could have done better. But anyways, so to overcome this, one thing that I started doing consistently was lifting myself up and praising myself for the things that I had done, right? Because yes, I was getting praise from other people, but it didn't really matter because I didn't see that within myself. So the same way we say, how are people going to respect you if you don't respect yourself? It's the same in here. Why do I belittle myself for things that I've done or things that other people have done when I also have accomplished and done good things for myself as well? And I should give myself a pat in the back, you know? Instead of seeking external validation, I began to seek internal validation. That way, when people did not criticize, but like give me feedback on things that I could have done better, I didn't take it as, oh my gosh, it's because like I'm not good at this, or I should just leave it to other people who know what they're doing. Instead, I said, okay, That way I was able to improve and take feedback in a positive way, and but also still be easy, but also go easy on myself as well. And just acknowledging my own progress made a big difference, because soon enough, even when I was going or accomplishing things on a steady pace, it didn't feel like I was behind or anything. It felt like there was something bigger happening, and I was preparing myself for something else, like rejection is just redirection, you know what I'm saying? And so I want to be really honest about social media, because it's become such a huge part of our lives. And I want to say that if certain content makes you worry or feel less about yourself every single time you see it, then girl, you need to step away from it, because it's just going to hurt you in the long run, okay? And it's not you being weak, it's just protecting your mindset, okay? Because I keep talking about myself, but I also want this message to go out to other girls, other young girls who may be feeling this way and haven't had this realization yet. Obviously, I'm not old and wise, but there is some lessons that I've learned from my years of being alive. And at the end of the day, comparison is not always bad, but it's just in an unhealthy way, like the way I was comparing. It's just bad, like horrible for you, okay? And it's not good for you, for other people, because sometimes they might want to get close to you or whatever. If you constantly see people as a competition, you will never make real connections, okay? So yeah, be careful with that. And I also don't think that comparison ever fully goes away. It's the same with jealousy. You can feel jealous about someone, but envy is when you start to take things too far. And it's not just admiration, it's just straight up hatred. And the comparison is the same. Like when you compare yourself with other people, at first it's just, like seeing the pros and cons, right? Weighing the good and the bad. But eventually it just becomes hatred for not only you towards other people, because that's all you see them as, that whatever it is you're comparing them to, but also to yourself. And it's not good. It's not a good thing. If you hate yourself, other people will see that, and it will be very hard again to make meaningful connections, but also like fully connect with yourself and know what you want. You'll just become foreign to your own self, essentially. Again, everyone has their own timeline. So me, like I said, hasn't fully gone away. So it's not like I compare people in a bad way, but it's still like a healthy thing. You know what I mean? And instead of spiraling into self-hatred, I just stop, like pause and think about whether my thoughts are going to help the situation and help me, or are they going to just destroy me and make me feel horrible after it's passed. Anyways, I think this is something that people should hear. And if you guys have other thoughts and opinions that you'd like to express, be sure to put them in the comments. This little video, like what I'm saying, is sort of all over the place, but it was sort of last minute as well, because the thought came back to me while I was like getting ready, and I was like, oh, let me just film it, see how it goes. If I don't mind how it turns out, then I can just post it, especially since I've been trying to get more consistent with posting on here and finding my audience and stuff like that. Oh, sorry, give me a second. You shouldn't diminish your own accomplishments just from comparing what you've done to other people. You are worth so much more than that, and it's important to know this. And don't realize this too late, because eventually things will be out of your control and you can't really change it. And there's so many different, not opportunities, but chances where I could have really excelled or done really well and surprised myself, but I didn't just because of that lack of confidence. Okay, so I'm done with my makeup. It turned out pretty good, I think. You guys like it? And yeah, I'm not late, I'm pretty early. So I'm gonna go put on some jewelry and then I'm gonna head out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm still not sure if I'll post this. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say. I hope you can take something away from this video, a lesson or something, or if you have something else to add or share, put it in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time.